I would like to also speak into what was implemented as of the 1st of November, and that is the emergency electricity tariffs. Do you think that this side of things is where ZESCO can tap into to be able to update most of its systems, regardless of us talking about we need to purchase power with these monies that needs to be raised after we've seen the emergency electricity tariffs being implemented?
So the word emergency is very critical for you to understand. Emergency, meaning that things are very bad. So ZESCO already understands that them operating without cost-reflective tariffs, it has affected them maintaining their systems, purchasing power from outside. The kwacha to dollar exchange rate has also affected them, because when you are purchasing power from the Southern Africa power pool or Mozambique, you're supposed to pay in dollar. So the fluctuation within the kwacha to dollar exchange rate has also affected their operations. So now when you look at the emergency tariff itself, and its intended goal is just to cushion the situation. Remember, ERB has not implemented cost-reflective tariffs. That has been a challenge that they have been having. They just said we are going to have an emergency tariff. An emergency tariff is just something that is going to help you, carry you through for a certain period of time. But then our future, I don't see it being so bright with regards to us having constant energy, as well as being energy secured, of course. I don't see it happening with the current tariffs that we are having as a country. It's a bitter pill. I know many a times people even insult me to say, is this guy thinking? Why does he keep on talking about cost-reflective tariffs? Looking at the current conditions that the country is facing with regards to the economic situation, why should you be talking about cost-reflective tariffs? It is important. Like I keep on saying, I'm the doctor. If I tell you to say you're supposed to take Coartem instead of Panadol, you want Panadol because you don't want the side effects of Coartem. You don't like them. But then the only way that we can cure you is for you to have Coartem. I'm the doctor. I've given you a prescription to say this is what is going to heal our energy sector. We need cost-reflective tariffs. The emergency tariff is just being used to cushion the situation. Otherwise, things are bad for ZESCO. These blackouts that we are seeing, with this 40 equipment that we are already having, which is already outdated, and we are already, ZESCO is already limping with its finances. So looking at that, people need to be taught. Somebody from government and ZESCO needs just to come out boldly and inform the people to say, no matter what we do, the fact still remains is we need cost-reflective tariffs. The emergency tariff, it's only for 3 months or so, and this was just used to push up.
And it will be reviewed.
And it will be reviewed after 3 months, of course. But then, is that the solution? Because it's just a question. You have to be very careful. It's just an emergency tariff. An emergency tariff. The word emergency, people need to understand that. It is not the ultimatum, but it's an emergency tariff. That again was discussed between ERB and ZESCO. Terms and conditions were put in place. And of course, people, there's this question that they keep on asking. November, they implemented the cost-reflective, emergency tariff, but then we are seeing nothing change.
You highlight that we are dealing with these economic, hardships. How then can we implement cost-reflective tariffs, putting into account the many things that we are dealing with, not only just from within the energy sector itself? There are other sectors at this moment that are limping, and our economy at this point is in a downtrend. So how do we implement cost-reflective tariffs, putting into account our economic condition?
Okay. We're not really in a very dying situation. That's one thing you have to understand. Remember when the government implemented cost-reflective tariffs on petroleum products, people said that no, we will not manage, and it will really, really affect the economy. Yes, of course, in some way it's affected the economy, but we couldn't continue subsidizing. So one thing I'm going to tell you, we don't implement cost-reflective tariffs. Even this small power that people are having for 2 hours, ZESCO will fail. We don't do that, ZESCO will fail. So would you rather live in the dark, or would you rather purchase power at a high cost, but you have power? Which one? It's up to the people now to decide. Otherwise, if they want to live in a lie where they're going to be enjoying the lie of telling them to say purchase power at a low cost and we are going to better services in the long run, that won't happen. The fact is cost reflective tariffs need to be implemented. Of course, it's going to have an effect on the economic conditions of ordinary Zambians, but then this will protect our energy security in the long run. You have to understand that it's not just us that are supposed to enjoy this energy. The future right now lies in the young people. Of course, there are kids out there that will come and experience what we are experiencing right now if we do not implement cost reflective tariffs. I was only 7 to 8 years in 2002. They were talking about cost reflective tariffs then. Up to now, we've not implemented them. Now I'm an engineer and I'm coming to say the same thing, to say, very young. But now I'm coming to talk about something that my fathers and mothers were supposed to do a long time. I start correcting it. We need to correct it now. Zambians need to tighten up their belts. They need to say, no, we are going to die a bit. Now we are like freedom fighters for energy at the end of the day. So we are going to die a bit. Yes, we are going to scrap ourselves. It's going to hurt. That is the truth. But then it's going to be the right move in the right direction to protect our energy integrity.